Namaskar. The topic of discussion in this module is on marine sediments. It comes under the subject oceanography. Oceanography is an interesting subject to learn. It is a part of earth sciences. Geological oceanography is the study of earth beneath the oceans. A geological oceanographer does three major works. The geological oceanographers study the topography, structure and geological processes of the ocean floor. They discover how the earth and oceans were formed. They also analyze how the ongoing processes may change the oceans in the future. The subject of geological oceanography includes many sub-disciplines like geophysics and plate tectonics, petrology and sedimentation processes, and micropaleontology and stratigraphy. Geological oceanographers also explore many features of the oceans such as continental rises, ocean ridges, ocean trenches, sea mounds, abyssal hills, the oceanic crust, marine sediments, erosional processes, volcanism and seismicity. The growth of science and technology made it possible to explore the deep ocean basins in several parts of the world. The ocean morphology and relief were extensively studied using sophisticated instruments and detailed mapping techniques. Ocean water circulation, distribution of temperature, density and salinity are very dynamic features seen in the seas and oceans. Oceans act as reservoirs of energy. They are the home for many marine life. Oceans also contain a huge amount of mineral resources. Deep ocean basins are the zones of continuous sedimentation. The oceans are the final destination for many of the sediments to be deposited. About 200 million years of earth history are available in the fossiliferous sediments deposited within these oceans. Understanding of these marine sediments become an inevitable aspect of oceanographic studies. Hence, in this module, the following aspects of marine sediments are highlighted: types of sedimentary deposits, sediment texture and transport, composition of marine sediments, distribution of oceanic sediments, ocean sediments as natural resources. Let us see the first one, the types of sedimentary deposits. Sediments are the earth's materials like gravel, sand, mud and the lime that are transported and deposited by wind, water, ice and gravity. They get accumulated and cemented to form sedimentary rocks. Based on the mechanism of accumulation, sediments are classified into residual sediments, mechanical sediments, chemical sediments and organic sediments. Residual sediments are formed due to weathering. A typical example is the laterite and bauxite. Mechanical sediments are formed due to the deposition after transportation in water. Typical examples are sandstones and conglomerates. The chemical sediments are formed due to precipitation of soluble constituents by water. A typical example is the limestone. The organic sediments are formed due to the accumulation and preservation of organic matter below the soil. Continuous sedimentation of organic and inorganic substances take place in all aquatic ecosystems. Benthic fauna thrives using these resources. Bioturbation is the stirring of a sediment by benthic fauna. This often destroys the structure of the sediments below the water also. Recently laid sediments of lakes and seas may contain some detritus food and also microorganisms. The benthic fauna feed through burrowing of these recently laid sediments also. The bedding and lamination structures already created in these sediments are disturbed. Marine sediments are formed by several processes. Marine sediments are brought in by the rivers, glaciers and mud along with shells and skeletons of organisms. Deep sea rocks that formed from these sediments are good source of information about the past sedimentary environments. sediments are much useful in deciphering the source rock contribution and also the locations of their origin. Sediments vary in their sizes, shapes, chemistry and density. Some are larger in size and some are very fine particles. Marine sediments are also classified based on their origin and particle sizes. The notable categories of marine sediments are lithogenous sediments or terrigenous sediments, biogenous sediments, hydrogenous sediments or orthogenic sediments and cosmogenous sediments. The term lithogenous means derived from rocks. They originate from erosion of land, volcanic eruptions and blown dust. These are mainly existing as continental masses and as volcanic islands inside the oceans. These are important sources of lithogenous materials. Weathering of minerals on the continental lithospheric rock bodies provide the input for the lithogenous sediments in the oceans. Quartz sands, clays, muds are the examples. Clays are the major products of mineral weathering reaction on land. The major products of such processes are clays that are derived from decomposition of feldspars, chlorides that are derived from the decomposition of ferromagnesian minerals, montmorillonite that are derived from notable materials after weathering, illite that is yet another clay mineral, kaolinite which is a product of potash feldspar and mica, and zeolite which is a hydrated aluminum silicate resulting from the weathering of feldspars. Wind plays a significant role in the transport of lithogenous sediments towards the oceans. Next comes the biogenous sediments. Biogenous sediments are derived from the organisms. The materials include carbonate minerals created by organisms such as corals, mollusks and foraminifera. These are deposited at ocean floors with layers of calcite forming limestone. The other biogenic rocks include stromatolites, the flint nodules found in chalk and the coal. Bones, teeth and insoluble remains of organism are continuously deposited inside the oceans. The most common chemical compounds found as biogenous sediments are silica and calcium carbonate. Microscopic diatoms, animals like radiolarians and organisms like foraminifera are responsible for producing calcium carbonate components. Growing algae and coral reef are the outcome of such biogenic sediment formation. Next comes the hydrogenous sediments. The hydrogenous sediments are mainly derived from water. They are formed by the chemical reaction and precipitation that occur within the sea water. The notable minerals formed under this category are manganese deposits, phosphorides and glauconides. Bacteria is an active player in the formation of manganese nodules. The other marine sediments include a good amount of phosphorides, glauconides and carbonates.